What's up, guys? Tony Ramirez here, and welcome to the garage. If you're into turning wrenches, fixing up cars, or just keeping your ride in top shape, you're in the right spot. I drop real-world tips, no fluff, just what actually works. So hit that like button, smash subscribe, and let's wrench smarter, not harder. All right, enough intro. Let's jump right in.
How much does it cost to repair a gearbox? Find the best garage to repair your gearbox. See the price for my car. How much does gearbox oil cost? There are several types of gearbox oil, depending on whether you drive an automatic or a manual gearbox. Manual gearbox oils. How much does a manual gearbox oil change cost? SAA, Society of Automotive Engineers, an American standard for classifying oils according to their viscosity. EP, extreme pressure. These two letters designate the oil's resistance to pinion rotation. 75, the number before the W, winter, indicates cold oil viscosity. 80, the number after the W indicates the viscosity of the hot oil. This type of oil is not very expensive. Expect to pay between €6 and €8 a litre, bearing in mind that you need between 2 and 5 litres for a gearbox change. It's easy to calculate. You'll need between €18 and €28 worth of oil to change your gearbox. Automatic gearbox oils. Automatic gearboxes require a very special oil. It must be very fluid when cold and contain numerous additives to resist oxidation or pressure. This oil is called Drexen ATF, a red-colored oil created by General Motors, which undergoes constant innovation, often indicated by a number, Drexen 1, 2, 3, 4, V or 6. It is slightly more expensive than manual gearbox oil. Expect to pay between €10 and €15 per litre. You'll generally need between 3 and 7 litres for your oil change. To find out the exact quantity, consult your maintenance booklet. How much does it cost to change the oil in a gearbox? For automatic gearboxes, the procedure can be much more complex, requiring a filter change and reprogramming of the gearbox, electronic diagnostics with special equipment. An automatic gearbox oil change can take up to 3 hours. Expect to pay between €150 and €240 for labour. Find the best garage to repair your gearbox. See the price for my car for a manual gearbox, the complete service including oil and labour will cost you between €40 and €80 on average. But this price can rise depending on the model of your car. To get a better idea, you can use our price calculator to get an exact quote for a gearbox oil change for your vehicle. Here's a table of minimum and maximum prices for 10 of the best-selling vehicles in France. How much does a manual gearbox oil change cost? SAA, Society of Automotive Engineers, an American standard for classifying oils according to their viscosity. Maximum price. Gearbox oil change on a Renault Clio €269, €110 gearbox oil change on a Volkswagen Golf 432, €53 gearbox oil change on a Renault Clio. €366, €105 gearbox oil change on a Peugeot 20640, €64 gearbox oil change on a Peugeot 20753, €83 gearbox oil change on a Dacia Duster 59, €91 gearbox oil change on Citroën Xara Picasso, €45 gearbox oil change on a Peugeot 207 gearbox oil change on Nissan Terrano. €46, €77 gearbox oil change on Land Rover Freelander, €69, €105 gearbox oil change on Chrysler PT Cruiser, €39, €62 gearbox oil change on Volkswagen Touran, €95, €105 gearbox oil change on a Dacia Duster. How much does it cost to repair a gearbox? In the event of a gearbox malfunction, and depending on its severity, it is possible to repair certain parts, such as a synchronizer ring, which costs around €10, or primary or secondary shaft bearings, which cost between €15 and €30. Sometimes, however, there's no choice but to completely replace your gearbox. This is one of the most expensive operations, especially as the price can vary enormously depending on your type of vehicle, or if you use an automatic gearbox. It can vary from €150 to €3,000. In some cases, it's better to use used or reconditioned parts, which will cost you around 30% to 40% less than new ones. You can find used parts at auto wreckers, your garage, or on specialized websites, where you can obtain quotes and prices. Final tip for the road. Watch out for signs of wear on your gearbox or clutch. They could alert you in time to avoid costly repairs. You can also make an appointment with one of our trusted garages for a vehicle diagnostic. Find the best garage to repair your gearbox. Gearbox repair, how much does a manual gearbox oil change cost?